Hello guys, welcome to a new video. Let's start a game. We're playing against Husa Dumitri from Romania, I think. Yes, it is. And we'll just play e4, so we don't get a boring game, hopefully. Unless he plays a Caracan. Sorry, Caracan players. So e4, e5, very symmetrical. Let's play knight f3. And after knight c6, we have a plethora of options. We have d4 the Scotch. We have the bishop c4 line with potentially a fried liver or Italian. Bishop b5 is Leroy Lopez. c3 Ponziani. Um, let's go flexible. Let's go mainstream. Let's go Italian game here. And hopefully we get something going for us. So h6 basically suggests to us that he is afraid of knight g5. But what h6 also does is, or what it doesn't do, is not develop a piece. I think we should strike with d4 in the center. We are essentially up in development. And let's see. You know what? Let's castle. Let's castle. Now we are up three ways of development. We open up the bishop with the move d4, and we'll capture on d4 on our own leisure. That's my idea. Okay, obviously there is bishop c5, which he does play, but this might open up alleyways towards this side of the board, because this bishop on c5 is undefended at the moment. Even better, we might even play c3, sacking this one as well, opening up the diagonal for the queen on this way, and also having threats like queen d5, which might even be better here. Which might even be better here. So we can either take, or we can play queen d5 immediately, and I want to be a little bit accurate, right? You know, and I think bishop here just makes a lot of sense. How does he defend this and this at the same time? Queen e2, queen e7. Ah, queen e7 defends both at the same time. Hmm, queen e7. Okay, that's insane. Here and queen e7, I totally missed that. All right, let's just take with the knight then. It's not working. I don't see a continuation after knight e7. So he goes there. And now we have e5 for sure. E5 for sure. And the knight has to reroute. Yeah, I think this is a no-brainer. We just go for it. And often, up until 1800s, the defensive skills of our opponents tends to be lackluster compared to their ability to attack. All right, maybe now is the time to go knight queen d5. Also play h3. Knight takes, and if knight takes, we have rook here, queen here, and f5, maybe? No, it's actually quite too slow because of this. Hmm. All just not working as I wanted to. It's very annoying. What about h3 takes, knight takes, rook here, queen here, and knight a5? Trying to get rid of the bishop, then just castles, but then I take. If place, and then after takes, this is still not playable. Hmm. Hmm. Such a tricky position. What about 95? Queen here and knight b5. Queen d5 here and knight b5. Oh, it does walk into bishop b6. Uh, yeah. I mean, we can also just play bishop f4, overprotecting this pawn, and then play h3. I guess we'll just settle on that. I guess we'll just settle on that. So I really thought I was having a good position, but nevertheless, it doesn't seem to be the case. There's also this threat on f2 here. There's also a threat on f2 here, unfortunately. So I was really up in my own thoughts here for 2 minutes, and then I skipped the first step, which is to analyze the things of our opponent, the plans of our opponent. And the fact that he also played h6 here could lead as a hook or place to sacrifice. Not here, I guess, but maybe later in the game. Now we can play h3. Takes, takes, takes. And after king takes, I think we'll have a decent position. We can also play queen here. Can also play queen here. Trying to make some leeway for our queen to go there. Because the knight will sacrifice itself anyways. Maybe we don't even have to play h3. So let's go queen d2. And complete our developments. Rooks are now connected. Everything is connected, blah, blah, blah. Let's be patient. Let's, build up the attack and build up the pressure. And our opponent might make a mistake. So he plays d6. Yeah, maybe we had to play h3. Now I regret not playing it. So essentially we put up a lot of time to build up a pretty position and everything doesn't seem to work. Bishop takes on h6 doesn't work because of knight here, which I essentially missed. What we do have in our favor is that maybe this pin is working for us. Maybe the pin will be working for us. Um, there's also rook d1. If takes, and the knight is really bad, and then we can take here. Yeah, let's play rook d1. Not this rook, obviously. Bishop there. Bishop there. Now after takes, he has an attack on our bishop, but it's defended. So we can then take, and after takes, we can actually win something. That's actually nice. So we win some material back this way, but we have to be careful. We have to be careful. What else? Well, let's just take. Let's just take and take. I don't see anything else. Bishop is protected. We can take again. And we've regained the pawn, and we have maybe a little better pawn structure here. So we might be able to target this e6 pawn. First off, we have to settle the dust. He will probably take. because the rook is attacked, or he will be crazy and sack here, which might not even be that bad, honestly. Now he takes, stake. We're now also attacking this pawn. And if he ignores the trade, then we'll just go here. Take this at once more. We also have knight here. Bring the knight into the game. Hard pick. But then we would be blundering this pawn, or at least that's not what I want to play here. If you go rook e1, rook here, and if you take then here, takes, and this knight, it's not a pleasant position. Then it is defended. I don't know. I don't really know. Let's do it anyways. And I'm quite hesitant to play these lines. It is defended, so that's the only reason I'm doing it. It's definitely not the best move here. An advantage you have when you sacrifice pawns like this is that you do get to be the attacking one. And now, if you're not, it's just very unpleasant because it is. Okay, expecting rook e1, and then we just go back and play h3, making left. We should have played h3 a long time ago, but I find that now is the right time to do it. Okay, h3 anyways. Maybe king f1 was better, more accurate, but things are now as they are. We'll be trying to push on pawns here and there. Let's start with g4. This is the side where we're gonna try to break on. Just there. Yeah, good question. What to do now? We could take and take. Could also ignore the trade, but then he gets access to all these squares. So I don't want to allow that. So let's go there. This square is still a square I want to keep. Where does this rook belong? Maybe it has to sweep over to the other side. That seems okay, but then I'm allowing the king in. Let's just bring the king up a little bit. See what he does. Bring the king to a safer square as well. It's all the way back. Maybe he wants to go behind the pawn here. Um, let's go tricky. Let's go g5. Wanting to take. We are ruining our own pawn structure and chances, but we are turning mate at the very least. We are turning mate at the very least. Probably not what we should have done, but looking at the time, it's the best we've got. Maybe. Because now maybe he wants to go something like this. No, he goes all the way back, actually. Wow. Didn't expect it. Let's play f4, creating the stronghold for the knight. Knight here. Let's go after this dude here. And if he plays king f1, ah, okay, that doesn't work. So I'm expecting rook here. Okay, we might be losing on time, but we still played, in my opinion, a very decent game. Bring the king up once more. And he goes knight there. Let's really push it. Maybe we have to go back here, by the way, but Let's push it. And see what chances arise after pushing hard. Okay, let's go up so we don't blunder any checks. There is a check for us, however, so if the rook arrives somewhere here, then we'll be good. And we are not in time trouble, but at the moment we are a lot in time trouble. And we are trying to create our chances here. The rook essentially a really bad piece now, so we have to get it out via this. Kind of made that Okay, okay. Let's go this anyways, I don't care. And now we're just trying to push everything. We might be overextending, honestly, but you gotta do something. Gotta do something. Keep pushing. No, essentially we could take. Could take, and take here. And that would be maybe winning. Oh no, but then he takes the pawn. So he goes there. That's a very nice move. He might have some annoying checks now. This is actually not done and dusted at all. Not done and dusted at all. Let's go rook here. Wanting to go something like this, maybe. There is a mating pattern somewhere. Oof, and he stops it. Very nice by your opponent. Hopefully he takes the pawn. Hopefully he takes the bait. But I think he will just grab this one home. Or does he? I'm threatening mate, and how does he stop it? How does he stop it? There's a check. Then I go here. And if he takes, I still have a mate. Opponent realizes. This is crazy. Well, I still might lose on time, honestly. Takes. I think we have a mate. Woo! 1 second. 1 second on the clock. That's nerve-wracking. That's nerve-wracking. Oh dear. Yeah, good game, good game, good game, good game. Yeah, really good game. We played a little bit too much in our time. We got into time trouble. We almost lost, honestly. Honestly, 72 accuracy. And for the change of pace, let's go use the feature we have on chess.com, the game analysis, and after d4 takes castles. I'm not sure what engine thinks is the best move. You're just taking, but even though the engine prefers the other line, this is essentially the way to go, in my opinion, because you do develop with this move and you're free to take on your leader. Bishop c5, c3. Okay, now we can take, but we can do other things because our opponent is holding on to the pawn. After takes, he took here. Um, I am thinking that maybe queen d5 was still the best move, but after queen e7, defending, or okay, wait, let's do it like this. After queen e7 defending, I don't see how to continue this attack. We have knight c3, and then what, right? So I went for this line. Oh, I missed something. Apparently, Bishop here takes, and then queen d5. Obviously. Oh, of course. And now he loses castling right. Of course. And if he goes queen e8 back, queen takes c5, obviously. Maybe he wants to take a second pawn and play knight f6, knight c3, defending the pawn, d6, maybe attacking, queen c4, holding off some important thought, I guess. Here, maybe rook e1, knight d5, actually. Knight d5, because if you take, there's threat of rook e1. Yeah, this is very hard to play. Queen f7, stopping anything. Rook f to c1, or rook f to d1. And after you go here, it is very hard to play for black. You basically don't have to do too much, but we didn't play that. We played after knight f6. Um, we played e5, knight g4, and bishop f4. What I'm wondering here is if hg might have been a much better move here, because after takes, knight takes, rook e1, queen e7, I thought. Oh, now, oh, this just still walks into this. And after bishop f4 here, d6 protecting. Well, wait, maybe d6 was just a good move to begin with. There's knight d5, and if you go back, well, one you can take here. Yeah, and that's how you regain the pawn, I guess. But you already also kind of sacked the pawn again. Bishop e6, so it's not clear to me. And now you sack and play queen h5, king here, and rook f4, going for this bishop here, and this pawn. And apparently black doesn't have a better way of protecting this other than sacking. But he does get, wow. So you cannot take this, you have to play king h1. Ah, I see, I see. Yeah, that's not an easy line to spot. Castles, and we went here. This is essentially the mistake we made. Because now after d6, which our opponent plays, yeah, we can really wonder what the heck we're doing. We went here, and luckily our opponent did not grab this pawn. Well, we did intention for him to grab that pawn after knight takes, and takes. Even though we've regained the pawn, we also sacked another pawn, and we are just down a pawn in the endgame. So he played bishop here, we took, and now we do regain a pawn with increment, or with some money back, as we get another pawn for it in return. I do have to mention this was a bit sloppy of me to allow rook d1. Maybe it was indeed better what the engine suggests, rook d to e1. So when now rook d8 comes, we can just take at our leisure. There are no difficulties. There are more pieces, so there with the pawn up, so there is less a chance of a draw. But I went a bit of a sloppy way and took this way. Now the knight has to redevelop, etc. And we kind of panicked here, but there was no need. King f1, still a good move. We went for g4, still also a good move. Knight takes, and we push the pawn. Here we're threatening mate, obviously. Yeah, we have to do something right with the time we had, and our opponent defends passively. Apparently now it's a good time to play a3. Restricting the knight for one, but I don't see what it does otherwise. Let's say he plays proactively and attacks the knight. Knight e7, rook b8, d7, knight back, knight e6. Now attacking the pawn. Let's say he protects it this way, but then we still have to check. Yeah, okay, this is kind of busted after a few weak moves, but a3 in itself doesn't really do that much, does it? Because if he goes knight before here anyways, it's kind of futile here, I would say. Well, if you play a3, he has this. But then we still have rook b6. Ah, the play here is also very strong. Yeah, I guess we allow him to go to decent squares. But I don't understand the gravitas of this move a3, which is given as a really good move. If you play rook f8, for example, um, h4. I guess not a3. I don't think a3 is such a strong move, but maybe it's f4, which is such a weakening move because it's easily targetable and not easily defendable because you want your pieces to be attacking. So f4 was played. Anyways, knight there. Oh yeah, and also it allows this check. This is the reason why it was so bad. Um, anyways, he didn't play that. He did play a3 in the end. Knight g4, king g4, excuse me. Takes, pushing the pawn. Here, I wonder if there's any tactic. First, I thought maybe this. And if he blunder this, we can win this one. We check and then push this one, but this one is way too far out to be pushed. It can be easily stopped. But the engine apparently gives um, this a very big plus because you win the thing back and you win a pawn. Yeah, this is quite nice. So, yeah, we continue the fight, and after essentially getting here, we get the mates. If he didn't do anything, so here on my 4 seconds, I did try to calculate everything because we had to. Obviously, we are trending mate this way. He tried to stop it this way, but this also leads to a mate. Oh, and I thought the most resilient line here was to give a check. And after I go here, if he takes, we have a mate. So, um, oh, king h5 here. Wow. And then I would really lose. Takes, and then we lose on time. Yeah, so nice game. I don't think I really explained everything righteously, but I tried to do my best. Especially in the end game, it was very hard for me to see what's up, but at least we tried things. We tried to be practical. We're not Magnus, unfortunately. We did destroy a lot of pawn structures of our own on our own volition. It did lead to open play, where we got the chance with rook b7, knight b7, knight e6. Yeah, that was our only chance. And we also got this very nice little mate here. So yeah, that was the game. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.